Hey, I'll come slide by you, Phil.
I don't know that I like.
We are recording. Phil has a glow.
Why?
Why do you have a blue glow? Oh, now it's what? Oh, it's the TV. That's why.
It's my halo.
Oh.
Nope.
Why?
We're having.
What's up with this?
Now Steve's not in it.
Phil is going to just have a halo today.
Why do I have this U2M shirt on?
Because you deserve it.
Okay.
That's right. Flip.
Welcome to Big Ten Frenemies episode 31.
U2M.
We have cut back to just once every 2 weeks as news is a little slow and we'd rather not be repetitive for you guys unless we're talking about Harbaugh and University of Michigan.
We don't want to bore you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what we're going to cover today, we're going to cover transfers, we're going to cover a little bit of recruiting, and we're going to cover, of course, the upcoming bowl games. Now, since the loss that Michigan had to Ohio State, people have been freaking out, especially on the recruiting trail.
Michigan people have been freaking out.
Yes, let me say that.
It made Michigan people very insecure, noticed.
So, we heard Chase Winovich and what he said. Obviously, it's a mirage.
Yeah, I didn't like the terminology wasn't good.
I'm not sure. Chase, I would love for you to follow this show and maybe hit me up on Twitter and explain yourself because I am confused as all hell. I did love Ohio State's response with the video.
That was pretty funny.
I saw that. That's right.
But Steve, if you were at the podium and you had your 2 cents to put in, what would you say to recruits that are thinking about leaving University of Michigan because of that loss?
It's one game. Michigan.
That's a great start. Let's keep it rolling, bud.
Right. I know what he was trying to say. I mean, what he should have said is, look, Ohio State kicked our ass, but it doesn't change the trajectory of the program, that we've taken some steps. Michigan's back to winning. We believe in what we're building. If you really want to come and get a great education and play for a contender, Michigan is one of those schools. But you can't erase the fact that you got your ass kicked in Columbus, and Ohio State has owned Michigan over the better part of the last decade. So, I don't. There's no. What he said was stupid. I mean, it wasn't a mirage. I know what he was trying to allude to. He was just trying to say, look, everything that we're working for did not fall apart because of one game. What I would say exactly what they are is like, look, Michigan is a top 10 football program. It's been proven over the last several years that they're in that top 10 area now. It is one of the best schools in the nation if you actually care about school or college. If you want to go to the NFL, they've been as good as anybody in developing players, sending players to the NFL. Right now, it looks like Michigan's going to have 2 of the top 10 players in the NFL draft. And Rashawn Gary and Devin Bush.
Oh, yeah, they are recruiting. But I saw him more in like 15, 20 area.
Okay, 2 of the top 20 players in the NFL draft. But I'm saying they've done well sending guys to the NFL. And you get to wear those frickin' helmets. You get to wear those helmets, or you could even manscape.
No. Don't bring that up, because last time you got really
If I was giving the recruiting pitch, you wanted my recruiting pitch. There, I'm done. I'll sit back and listen to you guys. That's all I have to say. That's all on you guys now. Go ahead and tear Michigan apart. Come on, do it.
Now I want to jump into...
Those who stay will have
play Florida.
Trajectories.
Yes, we're changing that. To those who stay will play Florida in a bowl game.
Let's jump right into the...
Why is this always about Michigan to start with?
No.
Did you like those who stay will play Florida?
We're going to talk about that, but it's not just transfers from your school.
It's very real.
Yeah.
It's transfers from everywhere.
Yes.
You started out with, after 4 games into the season, Clemson's QB decided he's going to. Brian. Now, you've got Aubrey Sullivan, who's 1 year in, and is supposed to be the starter.
2 years. 2 years in.
Is he 2 years?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, 2 years in, and he's supposed to be the starter.
Yep.
And then you got Justin Fields down at Georgia transferring. Yeah. And now these are just some bigger names. There are a ton of people that are actually transferring when you look into it. What's up with that? Like for years, because there's no real reason. Nobody knows why he's leaving Michigan.
No.
Do you have any insider facts?
No. The only thing I'm reading, like on message boards and like Michigan writers that are close to the program, he was.
Just say your sources.
He was.
Sources.
You know, he was a one-time Michigan commit, then decommitted. He was going to go to Georgia, then he recommitted to go to Michigan. And people have said, like, he just homesick, doesn't like the cold, has never really felt like he was at home here. And
but we've had some pretty mild winters.
I know, but those are just some speculation. Some people say that he got injured this year and he lost his starting job when he came back. He was backup and that rubbed him the wrong way. I have no idea. I have zero idea why he's leaving, to be honest. Because he's got a great opportunity. I mean, he's going to be the anchor of the D-line.
Yeah, see, so that was surprising to me. Because, like, for Fields, I understand. And let's go ahead and get into what we were just talking about previous to starting the actual recording. But for me, it's like, okay, Fields isn't the starter. You've got Fromm, who's done well. He's a great quarterback. But you've got all these other schools who are kicking out their seniors, their junior quarterbacks that have been playing for a while in support of these new freshmen coming in. And what happens if they don't play the freshmen? They transfer. What happens if they play the freshman? The other guy transfers. So it's a lose-lose situation. And in the past 4 years, the number one recruit each year has ended up transferring after their first year. So now Fields says no, Fields doesn't say this, but people are saying Cristobal, front runner, Ohio State. That concerns me a little bit. I think he's a great quarterback.
Concerns me even more.
Yeah. We don't know if Hoskins is staying or going. There's a lot of Twitter messages that he can be covered the wrong way, but you know, he could be staying. Yeah. He could not be. But Fields would still be a great addition. But let's say he transfers. Let's say he gets eligible but doesn't have the starting position. Is he going to transfer again?
Well, that seems to be the mindset, is that, you know, if at first you don't succeed, try another school.
Transfer again.
And it's just, I mean, it's pretty sad because nobody can.
There's no loyalty.
Well, it's not. You know, it's just. It's not so much loyalty, maybe to an extent, but I wouldn't even say it's so much loyalty. It's just let things play out. Stop demanding things right this second. It's good. Things have an amazing way of shaking out. I mean, just look at it. Clemson.
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I mean, bingo. You have Jalen Hurts. You have Clemson. You know, starting quarterback gets injured. You would have played, but you kind of see this far in front of your face, and I get it. When you're young, that's you know, a tendency you have. It's something we all, as you get older, you have a little bit more perspective just naturally, but you have to. Listen, man. I mean, the thing with when you're a senior, man, and maybe, you know, if this is your last shot, I get that. But guys who just they think things aren't working out. See things through, for Christ's sake. Stop. If you didn't think that you were going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread as a freshman, and how many are. You know, it's kind of like high school players jumping to the NBA. Yep. When that was the case, you had a ton of these high school players jump to the NBA, and a fraction actually worked out. Well, that's because jumping to the NBA is for but a very small percentage of players. And when you allow people to make that decision, and people who've been fed bullshit all their life, you know, their egos fed all their lives, pumped up, then yeah, you're gonna have guys go, oh yeah, I can do it. Well, no, you can't, and just shut the fuck up and play ball. And maybe at the other end of the tunnel, there's going to be some success for you. But let the process play out, and stop acting like you are entitled to, you know, to All-American honors as a freshman or a sophomore. That's really what it comes down to.
Now, Steve actually brought up an interesting point, and there could be other reasons than not just playing. They could find out something dirty. So, for instance, with this Justin Fields situation, with him leaving, they now only have one QB on scholarship because most of their other QBs have also transferred. Maybe there was something dirty going on with Georgia. We know it's not uncommon, let's say, with Georgia.
Yeah, with where's Fromm?
Huh?
Fromm's going to be a sophomore.
Is Fromm a sophomore? I think he's a junior, and he's going to be.
He was a sophomore this year, I think.
Okay.
Because he was a freshman in the national title game.
Right. That's right. So you know, we've had that issue at Michigan State a couple times with Kirk Cousins, with Connor Cook. We've had it again with Lewerke, even though Lewerke didn't have a great season this year. But we've had guys really show up as show some potential as freshmen and then get the nod as a sophomore. And we've had guys transfer out because they see, listen, how am I going to compete with Connor Cook when he just led them to a Rose Bowl victory as a sophomore? You know, I get that. And we have other guys. Each quarterback situation is different. D'Antonio does a good job of stacking his quarterbacks, and you know, but you've got guys like Damien Terry, who was highly recruited, and things just didn't work out for him. He stayed the entire time, and you know, he's not football. He doesn't have a football career, but you know what? Not everyone's gonna have a football career at the end. That's the dirty secret is. Guess what, fucker? You could transfer all over. You're still not going to play in the league.
Michigan's starting tight end's a 4-star quarterback in high school. So Zach Gentry was a 4-star quarterback.
Was he really?
He was Harbaugh's first quarterback recruit, and he found out very quickly he wasn't going to be able to compete at that level, at that position. And Harbaugh said, look, you can be a quarterback. You're going to be our second or third quarterback, in my opinion. If you want to play in the NFL, I see you as a tight end. I can get you there. And he could have transferred. Instead, he took that route. But things are changing, because I think back to Tom Brady, right? Like, a lot of people know Lloyd Carr mismanaged that or whatever. He battled Drew Henson for a couple years. He still credits that for making him better, because he had to go through adversity, and it made him a better quarterback. Like, competition makes you better, and if you're going to a top 25 football program as a quarterback, you're going to have competition.
Yeah.
And how you deal with that, you can either run or you can get better. And the NFL finds guys. If he stayed at Georgia and he never started, he'd play enough, they'd find him, he'd be drafted.
If you're good enough, if you got the skill set, and you were just simply plugged behind somebody who was
Cardell Jones
dominant.
got drafted.
Yeah.
There's an example. The guy threw 2 passes in his college career. No, I'm just kidding, but I mean, he hardly played.
That's the thing. You're put in situations. It's just that so many people see. I think so many players mistakenly see themselves as, I have to be a dominant starter, or I'm not gonna. There's no chance of making the NFL or going to the next level. And if you're good enough, you'll get the opportunity over the course of a 4-year college career. You're gonna get an opportunity to shine.
Absolutely.
If you don't shine, bro, that's on you. Don't go whining about
when you're
nobody
giving your
else's
shot,
shit.
you better perform.
Yeah,
That's
and
what
I think
it
you
is.
guys are like me. I don't fault him for it.
No,
it's a free
we
country.
root for different teams. We're not like you at all.
But I mean, I have no problem if he wants to transfer. But if he was my son, I would tell him, no, you should stick it out.
Apparently, from what I read, his dad is the one that was pushing for it a little.
Well,
bit.
you got different parents with different. The kids get it from somewhere. Parents are not always the best at say knowing which is the best scenario or how to. They're expecting dominance and they are feeling entitled for their children too. I think there's.
Yeah. And let's be honest, during the recruiting process, the promises aren't just made to these kids. Promises are made to their families and their parents.
Sure.
Yeah.
And whether it be about education or the playing time, whatever it may be, these are things that coaches are going to promise.
Absolutely.
But ultimately, you have to, as a parent, you have to go, even if the coach is promising you something, I would be suspicious of that coach, and at worst, I would say to the kid, listen, you go there, that's fine, but it's on you to go get that starting position. Don't think that, just because coach said, I can really see you as, I can see you in the number and jersey and this starting in the Orange Bowl. That's
and coaches
tactics.
test kids. They test kids. They want to see what you're made of. They'll do that. They'll put you to third string when you're a star just to see how you're going to take it. Will you dig in and work hard, or are you going to quit? Because if it's a fourth quarter and you're down, are you going to dig it or are you going to quit? When things are going it shows character. It shows somebody what they're made of.
That's where we get back to like the quitting on your team for bowl games.
Yeah.
I mean that's a big part of it. I'm sorry. I know I understand there's money on the line. I'm not saying that there's money on the line the whole season. You know, for Rashawn Gary, there was money on the line the whole season.
Oh yeah.
But I don't dig that. That's not what I want out of the players in my program.
I don't like it either.
I don't like it. Period. End of story. If it was at State, Nick Bosa didn't like it at the beginning of the season. Said it then. But, you know, you're announcing this. You might be able to get back in time. Now they didn't make the college football playoff, but it was debatable.
Close, yeah.
You know, and you could have been healed and able to contribute to a national championship team, potentially. But
I think if Nick Bosa was still around, our defense would have been a hell of a lot better.
you got that too. You got that. There's no question. You can't take a guy of that talent and take him away and say that there would be no difference whatsoever. Absolutely not.
There's definitely going to be a difference.
Because
his pressure would actually make it easier for our cornerbacks and our linebackers.
Sure. There's not a question.
We would have lost 72-39. Would have been another turnover.
Just one.
I don't think you would have gotten 39.
Trying to get them overconfident for next season.
Thanks. Maybe you should worry about signing Zach Harrison.
I read today, everybody that's close to him says it looks like he's going to Ohio State, and
I hope so.
I was disappointed, but obviously not shocked. He's the number one player in the state of Ohio. You know he is, yeah. So everybody gave him crystal balls to Michigan and said Michigan led for him for like months, which I was always skeptical about. But they said after the Ohio State game, he was
But again, on his podcast today, Jim Harbaugh did say that there were going to be fireworks. Now, I hope that's in the literal sense, that he just walks out on stage with like 2 Roman candles, just like, pow, 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 welcome to University of Michigan.
I'm not putting it past him.
He said it on his podcast, and he was just saying there's going to be some excitement, some kids he's excited to have. That's all he was promoting.
I hope there's just a bowl of candy right in the middle of the floor, and that's like what the excitement is.
A pinata.
Michigan has a good class. They secured a good class, 10th in the
All
country.
right,
Yep.
you put the band.
We never know until they hit the field, right?
That's true. But now we're going to hop into what is upcoming, our bowl games. Steve, kick us off. Who are you playing? Tell us a little bit about it.
Michigan always plays Florida.
Not always, but they have been
just
a lot.
3 times in the last year.
The only time they didn't, they played Florida State, which is kind of odd. So they play a team from the state of Florida. How about that?
But they are much better Florida than they were.
They are, which makes me extremely nervous. There's a lot of things I'm nervous about this game. Number one, like Phil mentioned, a lot of guys are sitting out. Gary's the only one that's officially announced it because Harbaugh said he will not speak about players sitting out. He'll let them make that announcement. But everybody's saying who's not practicing. Bush has not been practicing, so he's sitting out. The really biggest surprise for me was Karan Higdon. Because, like, to me, that's a kid who can help his draft. Yeah. Like, the top 10 guys, top first rounders, I can understand more because, like, you got a lot of money on the line, right? Yeah. But, I mean, Higdon, probably going to be like a third, probably third, fourth round draft pick. Yeah. If he had a great game, that could only, move him up. Yeah. I don't get it at all. And he's a captain too.
Well, that's one where you go. It's not like a first rounder where you have a $50 million contract.
Yeah, like Love chose to sit.
Right, and you get insurance from Lloyd's of London or whatever.
You get $1 million policy.
Jake Butt had that. He got paid. So anyway, it's very frustrating. But here's the thing. The bowl game, we get to see players that are going to play next year, so that's what I'm looking at as a fan. I want to see some of the young guys that are going to step in. Michigan will be without, they say the 2 starting corners are sitting out too, so.
Really?
Yeah, so Laverne Hill.
How many people do you guys have entering the draft?
Well, they haven't announced yet, but this is all.
But from what you said right now, we're talking at least.
You're talking Chase Winovich, Chase Winovich is a senior, but he's going to play in the bowl game.
He's a 17-year senior, so
he's going to play in the bowl game, and I give him credit for that. So anyway, Gary is out, Bush is out, Laverne Hill and David Long supposedly are sitting out, and Karan Higdon. So 4 defensive players, 1 offensive player. Anybody who sits out, they're leaving. I mean, Harbaugh's not going to say, you sit out the bowl game, come back next year. I mean, that's not happening. So
thanks for helping us.
Right. So if that's true, defensively, it's going to be very tough because we have very unproven backup corners, okay?
Yeah, they have a pretty tricky offense.
And even the starters showed against Ohio State, we're not perfect in that area. So, anyway, long story short, I have no idea what's going to happen. I've looked at this Florida team. with the people that are out, I think Michigan had a better team throughout the season. In this game, it's a toss-up. I mean, I'd probably even give the edge to Florida. I hate to say it because I don't know. There's too many question marks on the defense.
It's like me when I had my prediction for MSU at the beginning of the season. Not using injuries as an excuse, but no, literally, when you take out 9 of 11 players, starters on the offense, you go, well, shit, I have no idea. I wasn't predicting for those guys,
Right.
I literally don't know what's going to happen.
If Michigan wins, I'll feel better about next year than I already do because I'll be like, holy shit, they came in. I mean, I think Michigan will win a close game. I have to pick that guy, but I mean, I would not be shocked at all if Florida.
So what you're telling me is you're picking Florida to win, but you believe the score is going to be Michigan 40, Florida 13.
Yes, I'm sticking with that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's a coin. It's a coin flip. I have no idea.
I got you. I'm actually looking forward to that game. I think there's quite a few good bowl games. Phil.
So
you guys have quite the game.
Playing Oregon. December 29th. December 31st.
And Oregon has the projected number 1 QB in the draft.
Correct. But we have so we've had injury-wise. I have no idea. I have not heard if Lewerke's going to be completely healthy. My gut feeling is that Lewerke's going to be healthy enough to play and start, and should be healthy enough to play that game. And
if he's healthy, he's starting.
If he's healthy, no question he's starting, and it will be interesting to see because if he's healthy after resting for this much time, and he comes back and he's got this edge and shows Lewerke of old, then that gives me a lot of. Then it makes me feel really good about next season because it makes me feel like he truly was injured and that wasn't bullshit. It was. He couldn't throw. I mean, I don't think it was bullshit at all. You could see he was missing passes ridiculously, but it just shows that he didn't lose it, just was injured and had to deal with stuff. So
is LJ Scott playing?
LJ Scott's playing. He's going to.
He's going pro. I saw that.
Yeah, he changed his mind and he's going to go pro. We're losing Justin Lane, who is he was a wide receiver recruit. We converted to a defensive back, and then and he was outstanding cornerback. Had a great season because of the injuries to the wide receiver group. He actually played two-way a little bit towards the end of the season, but he was fantastic talent. He had a great year. It's sad. I mean, I'm happy for him to go. Man, earn your dollars. You earned your shot. Very happy to see him go, but it sucks because Josiah Scott, who got injured in the preseason, was the number one. He was a freshman All-American, and we really didn't get to see him much, but we could have seen him and Josh Butler, who was also injured. They were projected 2 starters, and Justin Lane ended up having a great year. So it's like we could have 3 absolutely outstanding cornerbacks coming back, which would have been. I mean, I put him up against anybody in the country as far as cornerbacks, but whatever. I'm happy for him. I hope he goes and makes some money, but. Those guys are as far as who are losing. There's nobody that I know of sitting out the bowl game. So
Fulton Davis, a senior, was he?
Yeah, he was senior. Yeah. Once when he got injured against you guys, he was done. That was it for his career. So hopefully he goes out and I'm sure he will get drafted. There's not a question.
But he's no chance to play in the bowl game.
No, not at all. So. It's the guys. We had a lot of injuries. I feel like we should have a lot of those injuries healed and ready to go, but we'll find out. I really haven't heard much in terms of guys.
I know nothing about Oregon this year. I haven't even watched them play. So
they have
mediocrity.
They got a good quarterback,
teams, but they've lost the shitty teams. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like we can hold their. Defensively, I feel good about them. Our defense was locked down all year. I'm happy. I'm happy to see that matchup. Offensively, we were so abysmal at the end of last year.
Oregon has to have a bad defense, though, right?
No, their defense is actually it's not. I can't remember exactly where they're ranked or what they're not.
I just always figure Pac-12 teams have bad defense.
Yeah,
I just assume the Pac-12 is garbage.
It's a good assumption, but listen. You saw our offense for the last half of the year, last third of the year.
I'll be honest, I had to stop watching you guys. It was making me sad.
Oh my God! I mean, we scored. I think
The Rutgers game was was tough.
I was like, no,
that was
no.
atrocious. So I'm not confident in our offense against anyone. That said, healing up. LJ Scott, this is his last shot to show anything to NFL scouts.
Yep.
Heal up completely, and same Brian Lewerke. There's guys that need to show themselves this game. So
You pick them in a close one.
I will definitely pick them in a it's what it's been all year. I'll say like a 24-21 type of game.
All right.
What about the Buckeyes?
The
Nobody's
Buckeyes.
sitting out, right?
No one is sitting out as of yet. What we do have going on is
Except Nick
Urban
Bosa.
Meyers.
Except Nick Bosa,
Yes. Well, but
which we already know about.
yeah, that was kind of a given.
Yeah.
Urban Meyer will be coaching. It is his last game. The very next day, the reins are handed over to Ryan Day. Hoskins coming. Weber is declared, but he's still going to play. Draymond Jones declared, still going to play. I think the big thing here is maybe some of these guys would have sat out, but with it being Meyer's last game, I think they want to. And I think they'll play limited snaps because he knows that as well. But I think everybody's going to give it their all just to give like a one final
Give 'em a
rest.
send-off, yeah.
So right now the spread is only by 1 touchdown, 7 points in our favor. But I think because it's the last one, I think they're going to muster up kind of like what happened in the Michigan game. They're going to muster it up and they're just going to start destroying from the get-go. It's going to be hits from the beginning. They're going to be touchdowns. They're going to be driving the whole length of the field. I'm not saying they're going to score every time, but I mean they're going to get there. And I think it's a brilliant opportunity just to say goodbye in a good fashion too, because nobody wants to see him go, as we've talked about before, but this is going to be a great game. Don't get me wrong, Washington is highly ranked. They're number 9. Their quarterback started out the season. Browning was supposed to be, one of the top QBs, top Heisman runners, but he's had some setbacks. They've got a phenomenal running back. Their wide receiver game is a little touch and go. Their defense is supposed to be pretty stout, but I still see the Buckeyes coming through in true form. Now, I don't like paying attention to the spread anymore, obviously, so I'm thinking like a 42-24 win. That sounds pretty good to me.
Can I add a prediction?
Yeah,
I just thought of something through this discussion. I think the Big Ten is going to go 1-7 in bowl games with Michigan being the only victor. I think we're going to flip.
Kind of the opposite of last year when
I
you
think
were
we're
the
gonna,
only loser.
Yes, we're going to flip the script from last year. I changed my mind. That's what's going to happen. 1-7. Go
Wow.
Can we make it interesting?
blue. I'm kidding. I'm
Shave
freaking
heads.
joking. I'm joking.
Something.
I'm joking. It's coming back.
It's coming back.
It's coming back.
That means there's more to shave.
28. Now, one last thing I wanted to talk about in regards to Michigan. So, I've been talking trash about UCF all season.
Oh, yes.
And they have a shittier schedule than anybody you can imagine. Now you make it into the top 10. Okay. Now, Florida comes to you with a 2-for-1 deal.
Yes.
2 games at Florida, 1 at UCF,
Have to take it.
and they turn it down
Unreal.
because they don't think that it's worth their time. Not really worth their time. They think they deserve better. Maybe
Then
like
a
a 2
2
at UCF and 1 at Florida. And Mullins, Mullins went off at the podium on this. He's like, that's ridiculous. I mean, like, we're giving you, like, a lot of people would get in line for this deal.
How many SEC teams would volunteer to go play at Central Florida?
Yeah, fuck
Right.
you, UCF.
Yeah.
Right, you
So,
bitches.
so
Fuck
you're going to
you.
tell me that you're gonna whine and complain to the NCAA that you guys went undefeated, so they finally give in to your weak demands and say, okay, you're a shared national champion. You go undefeated again, and you guys keep saying, like, touting yourselves.
Yeah.
But when a real team comes to you offering this, you say no.
In your own state. It's not like you've got to travel or that your fans won't be there.
2-hour
Yeah.
drive? Oh God. So I'm sorry.
I didn't even hear about that.
So
That
nothing
makes
says
me
that-
want to PM.
Nothing says they're more afraid of the actual people out there than this. And now now more than ever, do I want Burrow to lead LSU on just a stomping tour of UCF.
Well, they're going to.
I brought this up
LSU's
to you
gonna
if
beat the
Michigan
shit out
offered
of
2
them.
for 1, but I just remembered Michigan State actually did that.
Yes.
Michigan State offered Central, Western, and Eastern a 2 for 1, and all 3 of them took it in 2 seconds.
Because why wouldn't you?
Right, exactly. You got nothing to lose. All you got to, I mean, you know, and
it made for we actually ended up playing Western and Central.
yeah, and you blew off Eastern.
Yeah, well, no, Eastern blew off us.
Is that what happened?
Eastern had a chance to make more money, so they asked to be let out of the contract,
really?
and Mark Hollis was like, "Yeah,
As an
go ahead."
Eastern alumnus, let me tell you what really happened is they all got around. They said, well, on TV it will look green and white, which is good, but there'll be like 400 Eastern fans and the rest will be Michigan State fans, and we don't want that. That's exactly what happened.
I've been looking forward to. I moved in. I'm a mile and a quarter from
From right near us in Stadium.
yes, from the stadium,
right
and
near us
I've
in
been
Stadium.
looking. I was looking forward to it since I moved in, because I could walk
Yeah.
to the tailgate. It would be beautiful, and then.
I think Michigan State did
You
play
would have to walk.
at
I
Eastern.
would.
I think Izzo played there one time, I think. Izzo brought his team
Oh,
there.
yeah,
And
we
Amaker
played-
brought Michigan there one time
Yeah,
at Eastern.
yeah.
But anyway, I totally agree. When I read that, I went crazy too.
Yeah.
And what do you want? Like, that's a perfect opportunity for them.
That is showing your little
Yeah,
bitch.
you might remember this, but Bobby Bowden, Florida State was nothing when he got there in like 79 or 80, whatever. And what he did is he went and said, I'll play anyone, anywhere. And he went to Ohio State, he went and played at Michigan, he went to Nebraska, he went all over, he played at Michigan twice. He no return trips. He said, we'll go play you. And he built a team. And then the second time around, he started beating everybody when he was taking them on the road. I mean, he built his team that way.
You cannot say shit. Your mouth should not be moving.
It's over.
If you had Florida telling you 2 for 1, oh well, we're above that. Are
Yeah.
you?
Really?
But you're not,
Really?
because you're UCF. Eat a dick.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Everyone hates you.
Yeah, good luck when Scott Frost players graduate.
Yeah,
Good luck with that.
LSU. I mean, I thought they were a sham anyways. LSU was going to curb stomp them. Now I see what a bunch
That's
of
why
bitches
I
they are.
told Andrew, I said, if not for all this crap, America would love that Cinderella underdog. I bet 9 out of 10 people want LSU to
If they
stop
did,
that.
if they
now?
were humble people,
Yeah, yeah.
I'd be like, you know what? Good for you guys.
Yeah, like Loyola,
Think about it as
Chicago,
a
or
player
like one of those
too.
teams, right?
As a player, you go, are you serious? You just turned down a chance for us to play Florida. I want to play them.
That's what I said. If I was a
I want to
player,
play
I'd
them.
be pissed.
And this is not like Florida, this is not fucking Tim Tebow, Florida.
No.
You should have. I mean, even if you got
Well, they're
beaten
ranked
by-
higher, right? Central Florida this year is 7th, I think, or 8th.
Yes.
Florida is 10th.
right?
You're the favorite.
Not in Las Vegas, I would bet, but
probably not,
yes,
yeah.
but yes, agree. But your point is taken. I mean, at the end of the day, that's an abomination.
perfect
you had
time
your
for you to
shot
take that.
and you embarrassed yourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not Michigan saying, "Hey, come to the Big House a couple times in November."
Right.
You know,
You're going down the
migrate north.
street.
Exactly. This is your perfect opportunity, and you shit the bed.
Absolutely
Yeah.
horrendous.
I'm glad we all
Improved
agreed
yourselves.
on that.
Good job, guys. Good
Yeah.
job.
Wow.
With our powers combined,
Wait, is this the first time we all agreed
This might be, yeah.
unanimously,
This
passionately
might
on
be.
something?
can you
Okay.
confirm this, Riles?
Is after
Okay, Riles gave confirmation that this is the first time we have all agreed on something. Here.
Let me get
Oh,
this
okay,
watered
there
down
you go.
Diet Pepsi. There we go. All right, good.
Well, thank you for tuning in to another episode.
Whoa.
Of what?
You bring up basketball? At
No.
least mention it.
We got 3 teams ranked in the top 15.
All right, we got 2 minutes that we can discuss this, so keep your to like a minimum.
You're the one with the national championship contending team.
Okay, Michigan's been struggling the last few weeks, actually, but they're still undefeated. I don't have a lot to add. I went to the Western game. It was ugly.
Still won by double digits.
They won by
And
8.
was it
76-62,
single?
Yeah.
South
Yeah, it just-
Carolina was single digits.
I think they won that by 10.
Yeah.
But-
you guys, in the end, it's not like you're winning by 2.
No, but you know what? Until you
It's basketball, man.
right, I feel like they were playing at the top of their game early, and they've kind of regressed a little. But I think sometimes you tend to play the competition. You
It's
don't get
fun.
up for those games. You know.
It's not 11, 12 games. It's 25.
I'm
games.
very excited to see the Big Ten this year. I think
It's gonna
amazing.
be. It's gonna be really
Ohio
good.
State, 1 loss, only to Syracuse still. We actually play tonight, trying to get home to it, Phil.
Who you play?
Tonight is what are they? No, we just played Bucknell, Youngstown.
Youngstown,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, can't miss that Youngstown State
Because
affair.
you know Tressel's going to be there, and I hope that he's wearing like one of those things that people custom make that's half Ohio State and half Youngstown.
Did you see the picture of him marrying 2 penguins?
Yes, I loved
All
it.
right, all right.
I love
Let's
it.
let Phil talk about the
I love
Spartans.
it.
Spartans have had some good games. We've ripped off some. We're showing our running game a lot. Our defense has been lights out. The assists that we're throwing, we're putting out like 32 field goals, 27 assists. I mean, it's an incredible. The passing is incredible. This last game against Green Bay, our freshmen were actually on the floor together at the same time, which is good to see at the end, even though it was after a blowout. But it's been we've had some good games and shown some things. I can't wait till we've got a couple more games. One this Saturday, one on Sunday of the following week, I believe. And
Do you play any tough teams before the Big Ten starts again?
No,
We don't either.
Northwestern, January 2nd.
That's why it's going to be very interesting.
We have Air Force
come,
in Binghamton.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Our next episode, we'll have a bit more to talk about for sure.
Yeah.
What is our next
So
episode?
yeah, it'll be after the bowl game.
Yeah, we have to decide.
Did you clear that with them?
Off air, so you
Yeah,
guys
we'll
don't
be
have
back
watch
to you.
this.
We have.
The
But yes,
31 people that care,
thank
we'll
you.
get back to you.
No, I think it's like 34.
34. Let's make it
let's say
34.
34. So thank you for tuning in to another episode of Big Ten Frenemies. I am your host, Buckeye Drew, OH.
I'm the Wolverine Steve. Go Blue.
Go Green.
And wait, let's say goodbye to executive producer
Don't ever
Jordan
forget
Riles. Fire up,
Chippewa,
Jeff. Thanks, Jordan.
Chip, chip.